Patriotism is, generally speaking, cultural attachment to one's homeland or devotion to one's country, although interpretations of the term vary with context, geography and political ideology. It is a set of concepts closely related to those of nationalism. The English term patriot is first attested in the Elizabethan era, via Middle French from Late Latin patriota countryman, ultimately from Greek I plus or minus II to the first III countryman, from I plus or minus III, fatherland. The abstract noun patriotism appears in the early 18th century. History. The general notion of civic virtue and group dedication has been attested in culture globally throughout the historical period. For the Enlightenment thinkers of 18th-century Europe, loyalty to the state was chiefly considered in contrast to loyalty to the church. It was argued that clerics should not be allowed to teach in public schools since their patry was heaven, so that they could not inspire love of the homeland in their students. One of the most influential proponents of this classical notion of patriotism was Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Enlightenment thinkers also criticized what they saw as the excesses of patriotism. In 1774, Samuel Johnson published The Patriot, a critique of what he viewed as false patriotism. On the evening of April 7, 1775, he made the famous statement, "Patriotism is the last refuge of the scoundrel." James Boswell, who reported this comment in his Life of Johnson, does not provide context for the quote, and it has therefore been argued that Johnson was in fact attacking the false use of the term patriotism by contemporaries such as John Stuart, 3rd Earl of Bute and his supporters. Johnson spoke elsewhere in favor of what he considered true patriotism. However, there is no direct evidence to contradict the widely held belief that Johnson's famous remark was a criticism of patriotism itself. Philosophical issues. Patriotism may be strengthened by adherence to a national religion. This is the opposite of the separation of church and state demanded by the Enlightenment thinkers who saw patriotism and faith as similar and opposed forces. Michael Bullock and Jean Bethkelstein have both argued that the difference between patriotism and faith is difficult to discern and relies largely on the attitude of the one doing the labeling. Marxism. Marxists have taken various stances regarding patriotism. On one hand, Karl Marx famously stated that the working men have no country, and that the supremacy of the proletariat will cause them, national differences to vanish still faster. The same view is promoted by present-day Trotskyists such as Alan Woods, who is in favor of tearing down all frontiers and creating a socialist world commonwealth. On the other hand, Stalinists and Maoists are usually in favor of socialist patriotism based on the theory of socialism in one country. Region-specific issues. In the European Union, thinkers such as Jan Korte or Gen Habermas have advocated a Euro-patriotism, but patriotism in Europe is usually directed at the nation-state and often coincides with Euroscepticism. Surveys. Several surveys have tried to measure patriotism for various reasons, such as the Correlates of War project, which found some correlation between war propensity and patriotism. The results from different studies are time-dependent. For example, patriotism in Germany before World War I ranked at or near the top, whereas today it ranks at or near the bottom of patriotism surveys. The patriotism score tables here are from the World Values Survey and refer to the average answer for high-income residents of a country to the question "Are you proud to be?" Insert nationality. It ranges from 1 to 4. The higher value for Germany in 1990 €92 likely reflects a temporary effect from reunification occurring then. See also. Further reading, Charles Blattberg, From Pluralist to Patriotic Politics, Putting Practice First, Oxford University Press, 2000. ISBN 0-19-829688-6. Craig Calhoun, Is It Time to be Post-National? In Ethnicity, Nationalism, and Minority Rights, Stephen May, Tariq Modood and Judith Squires. Cambridge, Cambridge UP, 2004 pages 231 €256. Paul Gomberg, OE Patriotism is Like Racism, Inigo Primrats, ed., Patriotism, Humanity Books, 2002, ppA 105 €112. ISBN 1-57392-955-7. Jawan Quartara Gen Habermas, a Euro-OE Appendix 2, Citizenship and National Identity, a Euro in Between Facts and Norms, Contributions to a Discourse Theory of Law and Democracy, Trans. William Reg, MIT Press, 1996. Johan Huizinga, a Euro-OE Patriotism and Nationalism in European Historia Euro. In Men and Ideas. History, the Middle Ages, the Renaissance. TRANSL by James S. Holmes and Hans van Maal. New York, Meridian Books, 1959. Alistair MacIntyre, Is Patriotism a Virtue? In, Abiner, Theorizing Citizenship, 1995, State University of New York Press, ppA 209 Euro 228. Joshua Cohen and Martha C. Nussbaum, For Love of Country, Debating the Limits of Patriotism, Beacon Press, 1996. ISBN 0-8070-4313-3. George Orwell, Notes on Nationalism in England Your England and Other Essays, Secker and Wahlberg, 1953. Igor Primrats, ed., Patriotism, Humanity Books, 2002. ISBN 1-57392-955-7. Daniel Bartal and Irvin Staub, Patriotism, Wadsworth Publishing, 1999. ISBN 0-8304-1410-X. Maurizio Viroli, For Love of Country, An Essay on Patriotism and Nationalism, Oxford University Press, 1997. ISBN 0-19-829358-5. Gilbert K. Chesterton 1922 That America is the only nation in the world that is founded on a creed. That creed is set forth with dogmatic and even theological lucidity in the Declaration of Independence. John Witherspoon The Dominion of Providence over the Passions of Man, Princeton May 17, 1776. References